Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Farhin binti Ruslan and my metric number is 2024429794. Today we will explain about the corruption cases. For the introduction, corruption occurs when individuals exploit their authority for personal gain. It often involves illegal or unethical activities such as accepting bribes, embezzling funds, or offering special treatment to certain individuals. This can take place in both public and private sectors. Corruption undermines trust, weakens institutions, and slows down a country's development. World Bank 2021. Next is the credibility. Corruption ruins people's trust in leaders, systems, and organizations. When there's bribery or unfair behavior, it makes others question if the rules actually matter. Because of that, people lose faith in both the government and businesses, which makes it harder for society to grow and work together.
My name is Noramdiana binti Muhammad Rozali and my matrix number is 202443 and 316. Next, I will talk about the background of the corruption cases. Corruption is a major issue in Malaysia involving bribery, abuse of power, and misuse of public funds. High-profile cases like the 1MDB scandal have raised public concern. Although the Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) works to fight corruption, it remains common in both public and private sector. In 2023, Malaysia's Corruption Perception Index, which is CPI, score improved to 50, ranking 57 out of 180 countries, indicating ongoing challenges in combating corruption. So, the central idea of this is this presentation talks about corruption in Malaysia by showing what people think about it and how many arrests have been made, so we can see how big the problem is and how it affects the country.
Next, I will explain about the pie chart. And in the pie chart, the first is most affected group, which is students. For the students, 42%. The students comprise the largest proportion of those affected, accounting for 42% of the total cases. This significant representation suggested that young individuals were exposed to unethical practices at an early stage, particularly within the education system, where they may have encountered corruption in various forms such as academic dishonesty, favoritism, or systemic flaws. Next is equal distribution. For the equal distribution, there are private employees and others, which is this whole 21% each. Private sector employees and individuals who did not belong to formal institutional sectors each represented 21% of the cases, demonstrating that an equal level of involvement. This parity indicated that corruption and unethical behavior were not confined to specific areas of society but were instead deeply rooted across both organized business environment and less regulated community or informal sector. The third is state civil apparatus. The civil servants made up 10% of the total cases, highlighting that persistent integrity issues within government institutions. This figure, while lower than that of students or private employees, still pointed to ongoing challenges in enforcing ethical standards among those entrusted with public responsibilities. Lastly is the least involved group, which is entrepreneur, 6%. Entrepreneur representing just 6% of the total cases appeared to be the least involved group. This relatively low percentage could potentially be attributed to a higher degree of operational transparency, stricter regulatory oversight in some industries, or possibly underreporting due to the independent nature of the entrepreneurial work.
So next, I will present about the second pie chart. This pie chart shows percentage of arrests related to corruption cases in Malaysia from 2019 to 2023. Each slice of the chart represents how much each year contributed to the total number of arrests during these 5 years. In 2019, about 22% of the total arrests happened. This could mean that anti-corruption efforts were strong that year with more focus from both the public and the authorities. In 2020, the percentage went down slightly to 20%. This may be because of the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected many areas of government and made it harder to carry out investigation and arrests. The lowest percentage was in 2021, with only 70% of the arrests. The pandemic was still a major issue, and this may have slowed down the fight against corruption even more. In 2023, things improved a bit, with 80.2% of the arrests. This might show that authorities were getting back on track and starting to focus more on corruption cases again. Then, in 2023, the percentage jumped to 22.8%, the highest amount of 5 years. This increase could mean that more people were being investigated and arrested, or that the government was taking corruption more seriously and putting more effort into fighting it. In summary, the data shows fluctuating enforcement over the years, with a strong resurgence in 2023. This pattern highlights how external factors such as public policy, leadership priorities, and global events like the pandemic can significantly influence anti-corruption efforts. Nevertheless, the overall trend suggests a continued commitment to addressing corruption in Malaysia.
In conclusion, corruption is still a big problem in Malaysia and happens in many different areas, involving people from all kinds of jobs. The chart shows what the public thinks about corruption and how many people have been arrested for it. Even though Malaysia's CPI score has improved, corruption is still a serious issue. More awareness and stronger action are needed to fight it and make sure things are fair and honest in the country.